good morning. Welcome to KTN Midmorning. My name is Skoy. Now, I absolutely love pancakes. And the best thing about pancakes is you can play around with them. You can make them in funny shapes. You can add all sorts of flavor to the batter. It can be breakfast, lunch, they can be dessert, they can be absolutely everything. Pancake batter is basically a blank canvas waiting to make it something spectacular. And that's exactly what we do today on Mid-Morning Lifestyle. We head over to the Panari Sky Center and they show us how to make a tasty pancake dessert. That's next.
Hot or cold, a really great dessert can turn an average meal into a memorable event. Today we head over the Black Gold restaurant and speak to Chef Anderson Maluni, who knows a thing or two about preparing a delicious and simple dessert.
Orange, strawberries, blueberry and mango. We have been in operation since 25th of March. So far, so good. When you look at Panari, as the whole complex, the whole hotel, all the outlets are named with the precious stones. So when you look at the outlet like the Crystal Bar, you look at the Humber Restaurant, the Red Garnet, the Ruby Lounge, which is also another new outlet we opened. When you look at coffee, it's like the gold, it's a gold of Kenya, and it's black. That's how the concept came about. The restaurant has a bar and a restaurant. When we are at the bar, you look at their different artworks. The concept is just showing how the different section we have at the Black Gold, what is served there. I was trained in Utalii College here in Nairobi. That's for 2 years food production course. And much of the training, this career of ours, when you are freshly from college, you are just told the basics. You have to get most of the experience with moving around, working with the different chefs, and you have to be very careful how you choose your mentors and all that. And the first dessert is done. Let's go to the second one. As a baby boy, I used to be very close to my mother when he's cooking. I came to like cooking. And when I finished my Form 4, I had an admission at the Kenyatta University, the C+. And I thought that was not the right thing for me. So I decided to join the Kenya Utalii College, which I applied and I was admitted in 1993. I did food production for 2 years. After that, I went for my internship at the Hotel Intercontinental Nairobi, where I was being trained by a very famous chef at the Intercontinental Group by the name Jack Roselle. Moved from there, I was employed at the Nairobi Serena Hotel, where I worked for about 4 years and a half. After that, I moved on a management level to the Holiday Inn, which is the current Southern Sun, where I was a sous chef. The management of Holiday Inn saw my potential in a very short time, about 3 months. They promoted me to a senior sous chef, which was a position in the Southern Sun, it's like an executive sous chef. And they sent me for a training in South Africa, Johannesburg, where I was working with one of the chefs who is my mentor up to today by the name Gary Line. And from there, I left Johannesburg. I went to the UK. I worked in different counties, and I got my first kitchen in UK as an head chef. UK, I was there for 3.5 years. One of the guests in one of my hotel which was working, I had a fine dining restaurant at Tour Rosette, was very pleased with my food. So when he asked for the chef, When he walked out the restaurant, he saw me, he asked me, "Are you a British?" I don't know, I'm not a British, I'm a Kenyan. So, just Kenyan can cook? I said, yes, I can cook. That's why you've called me here. So, incidentally, he was a big shot in the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. So he offered me a job at the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, on the cruise line. The name of the ship was Explorer of the Seas, where I joined after 1 month. All my paperwork, all my logistics was done. So I joined there in 2008, October. I flew all the way to US, New Jersey, Bayonne. And I worked there for 3 contracts as an executive sous chef. I came back in Nairobi in 2010. I joined the Windsor Golf Hotel as an executive chef. There I worked for 2 years, 2 years, yes. And after that, I went to Zanzibar. I was appointed by a Gulf Hotel group, which has an hotel in Zanzibar by the name of Ocean Paradise, as a consultant executive chef, where I did a contract of 3 months, where I was doing a facelift on ASAP, standardizing their menus and recipes. When I finished that, the demand went high. When I finished my contract at Ocean Paradise, I would join the Breezes. I did another contract for 3 years.
Dessert can be described as a typically sweet course that concludes a meal.
In that perspective, because you'll find that dessert, it cleans your palate. After eating, you'll have meats or spices, so it cleans your palate.
Pretty much anything sweet that we like can be used to top off our desserts. Other popular dessert toppings include chocolate sauce, caramel, and even peanut butter.
You take your normal bread, right? I need to soak this bread in here. Then you soak it with the berry syrup. Just put it down there as the base. Again, you're gonna soak in the other bread, which was cut into rectangular, sorry. Put it on that side. Have it again like this. Join there. And this is a sugar-free dessert. Soak it again. We place it on top of your ramekin. Make sure it soaks and fits. These days what we are doing at the Blackboard, we are doing digital cooking. You don't have any stress. When you put your item there, it is just a press of a button, you keep it there. The machine will tell you it is done, it is ready. This machine has a CPU, this is what we are seeing here. You can see different kind of food items here. We have eggs that comes for breakfast, we have roasts, that's for the chicken, we have cooking for red meat, fish, vegetables and potatoes, accompaniments that is, and then we have baking here. For the pancake we are baking, so we go to the baking option. Just a little bit of oil, not much, just grease the pan. The recipe of this pancake mixture is, we have got orange zest, we have got white flour, milk, eggs, baking powder, and some oil. Gonna put there a little bit. Just one ladle of each. Pull your lining. Put it on your plate, the middle of the plate. Yeah. And then you're gonna drizzle a little bit. You put some berries on top. Then you're gonna drizzle with the berry sauce. And that is ready. You need to taste. I have different sauces, as I said earlier, but these are the toppings for the pancakes. I have mascarpone cheese. I want to have my toppings hot. Mango is a very nice tropical fruit. My pancakes are done in 3 minutes. Just have them out, ready to serve. My sauce is ready. Make a nice quenelle. Spread it on top. And I get my other piece of pancake. I put it on top. Yeah. Then my mango puree, my sauce. You see
see how the ice cream is just melting on the pan. It's a very simple dessert dish and very lovely.
However, dessert toppings are not limited to sauces. Fruit is very popular as a topping for cakes and other baked goods. Fruits such as pineapple, cherries, and peaches are among the favorites. Whipped cream and other types of cream are a different kind of topping altogether. Kids often enjoy adding candies such as sprinkles to add both color and flavor.
So I have a non-sugary dessert in my menu. I have a strawberry cheesecake, which is sugarless, and it's one of my signature desserts in there. The price range for the desserts at the Black Gold is ranging from 300, ranging from 250 to max 500. It is more challenging preparing desserts. Desserts needs fineness, needs very fine touch, because in the mixology of the desserts, you cannot make a mistake, because if you make a small mistake, you will not achieve the end product.
Whether your pancakes are for an indulgent breakfast or a quick and easy dessert, they make a great canvas for a variety of recipes.
Maple syrup, which actually goes fantastic with pancakes, is actually made from tree sap, or rather is tree sap, that comes from the famous maple tree that mostly is found in Canada. If you want to find that feature again and watch it one more time, remember to log on to ktnkenya.tv. A short music break is next. Let's see what our expert on relationships has to say today on Ties That Bind. It's coming up next.
How involved should a parent be in a child's life, ensuring at the same time you're giving them privacy? Now, in this case, you see, I'm talking about how it's hard to answer such a question because we are dealing with a crossbreed, a cross range of children. So, depending on the age of children, I will speak giving them in terms of blocks. There's the golden age, which is I refer to as the age between 0 and 4. Now, the reason I call it golden is because that is the moment to instill all the values that you want to instill. That is the time when the child is most impressionable. They're like a sponge absorbing everything. And therefore, unfortunately, many parents lose out friendship and involvement with children at this stage. It's common right now even to find men who say, I'll only speak to my child when they start having teeth, or they start walking, or they start saying anything meaningful. That's only when I appear. So while they're at this stage, they leave it to the mother. A big mistake. Because even at this stage, these children need the contact of a father. That, whether it is body contact, that interaction of warmth and security, or being held by the father and the mother, is very key in their development. So the involvement starts from very early. I have friends who've shared with me some very interesting insights with scientific evidence of men who have been involved from the moment the child is in the womb. So that's where I mean in the beginning. So when the child starts making the usual movements in the womb, and you can see the feet moving on the womb, you can see them moving, then the father starts talking to the child. And even probably if they have a good voice and will not scare the child, can even start singing to the child. Those songs that the father sings to a child become a child's favorite songs, soothing songs in those formative years. I am living proof. I've tried it and it works. I can assure those who would like some tips, I can give them. It works very much. So involvement starts very early. Unfortunately, the disaster we have today, and it's brought about by urbanization and the constant drive of the rat race. We're all quickly looking and searching for the elusive shilling. Therefore, we always feel like, let's go out there and provide, and therefore the children will be taken care of. So long as I've placed them in a good school, they are okay. As long as they have a good housemaid, a house help, a nanny. I don't need to really be involved. Big mistake. Because there is when they're very small, the ages that I've been referring to, is when you start building the foundations for friendship with them. Because then from there we will start entering into the ages of reason. Between the ages of 5 now as we go towards 8, 9. The child is now at a different stage. They now no longer just take whatever you say as what you say. They question it. They ask you the whys. Why should I? And you see, at that case, unfortunately, many of times says, you keep quiet, I've already told you. But that's not the time to do. That's not the thing to do. At that time is when you build, answer those questions that they raise. And especially that's the time they're even curious about their body. And that's when the parents need to be very present to be able to guide them through the education about their body and prepare them for the proper sex education, not the garbage people are throwing at children these days, which is warped teaching on sex education, but the proper teaching of sex education, where first they can see in their home, if they have a father and mother, that's the first sex education. They can see there's a man and a woman, and eventually they came from the two. That's the first basis of any sex education. But after that, you see, you realize your child enters into the adolescent, and now we are entering into the young adult. He becomes now more aware of the need to find an identity. Who am I? They start questioning themselves. And again, in that stage, if you've done your work very well from the first stages and been involved with this child throughout, in directing the education, being there to form their character, being there to play with them at those stages, being down at their level, really being involved, a present parent, and not present just because you're physically there and you're working on your laptop. I'm talking about present, where you're really spending time and interacting with your children. Then you make your life, when they become teenagers, you're already their friend. You've already set the stages for them to consider you a friend. Now, they'll reach a point where, of course, you're not the coolest thing around. So even when they're in school, they ask you to park the car a distance because they don't want you to bring the car. They don't want to be seen with you in the supermarket, in the shopping malls. That is pretty much okay. It's a developmental stage. Do not worry about that as a parent. Don't start pushing yourself and trying to force yourself inside. They will still, if you've done your work well, you've done your groundwork well, and you love them and you've cared for them, they will still come around and they will still always remain the authority figure in aspects that trouble them. They will grapple with issues when they're teenagers. And if you've been there as their friend and they really know that you care for their concerns, that you're really a priority in their life, and children can tell. Children are very bright. They notice when a parent really cares about them. They will turn to you for help. But give them their space. Because remember, every individual has one thing. We are all unique as human beings because we have a free will. That's one thing that makes us very different from animals. We can determine our path. We are born with a capacity to be something. As parents, our job is simply to provide the environment, to direct this child towards achieving that which they've been called to. Therefore, always remember to give children their freedom. They will not necessarily turn out to be the accountant you are or the doctor you are. You can't just force them to become what you are just because that is the field you think has most the money. These are the mistakes parents make. But maybe your child might be good at something. I know somebody right now who is a comedian we listen to on radio, on TV, making serious money, which we will never ever dream of ever making. Why? Somebody promoted that aspect in him and realized that he has a funny side in him and encouraged it. Your child might be exhibiting a talent in something else, not necessarily in your academic achievements. Maybe you want them to also have the doctorates and the fellowships that you have and the awards that are hanging on your wall. They might not necessarily follow that path. They probably might choose to be a priest. So what do? It's their path. You encourage it as a parent. Give them their privacy. Because at the end of the day, they are individuals with a free will, with a destiny. Each of them. Yours is to make sure that you love them in whatever they choose eventually, that you're there with them. They will make mistakes. That's the beauty. Allow them to make mistakes, but be there for them. And only then can you teach them, even in those mistakes.
Now, whether it's for an indulgent breakfast or a quick and easy dessert, pancakes definitely a delicious meal. Well, that's our show for today. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you do have feedback, don't forget to send us an email on midmorning@standardmedia.co.ke. You can also check out our Facebook page. It's called KTN Midmorning, and on Twitter, it's at KTN Midmorning. My name is Koi. I have been your host today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the day.